Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin joining me now on SportsCenter. And Lane, right out of the gate, what did college football lose today?
Someone really unique, somebody very different, completely outside the box of normal coaches, and but a wonderful person. I've known him for a long time, and I was thinking, this morning, the first time ever, he just called my office back when you had office phones, and he had met my dad somewhere and just wanted to talk about offense. And it was like 11 p.m. and he talked for an hour in season. And I was just amazed by how brilliant he was and his stories. And every time, just to think I was just hugging him a couple weeks ago, and I knew something was off in pregame, and, I'm glad that he won his last game and had that last hug with him. And I will really miss his stories. You go out pregame and a lot of coaches don't really want to go talk to, and everybody just says good luck. And I look forward to his every year, and he would never stop. I'd finally have to say, hey coach, we got to go play the game. And he's like, well, we're going to meet in Key West, right? So whoever wins the game has to buy the flight down. So that was what he would say every year. So I will miss him, but a wonderful person. We have players that have played with him, coached for him. And for those of you that didn't get to know him, he was really unique and a big heart and a wonderful person, and will really be missed.
Coach, you guys obviously preparing for a bowl game, but this is a state of Mississippi. State of college football, but state of Mississippi morning this morning with this news. What did you tell your team, and what's the atmosphere been in and around your area knowing that Mississippi State has lost its coaching legend?
Well, I was in the state recruiting yesterday and actually tried to go by Jackson, but obviously not good timing, and so you just feel it everywhere. And like I said, I don't know, maybe this is something for fans that Coach Leach and I feel brought here, that there doesn't have to be hatred amongst the program and the people. You can have great rivalries and passion, and still love each other. And I loved him, and I feel like I kept hearing that was so unique. You're not supposed to do that here. And he would say the same thing, we'd always just hug after every event and say, see you next time, buddy. And I just can't believe that's not going to happen again.
You bring that up. I had the good fortune of calling the Egg Bowl, and we had even talked about that during the broadcast, that so much of this rivalry back in the day was about the hate and the chippiness and the fighting. You two came into your respective jobs in the same year. You came into this thing together. So what was it like coming in with Mike Leach? Because I remember the days the hiring went down, and you're like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. What was it like to be connected to someone like Mike Leach?
Well, I'd, been in the same conference as him before, and now obviously the conference and rivalry. And I don't know, like I said, maybe it's a God thing, our relationship and in this rivalry, and how people, maybe he brought us here so that people could see, hey, you can be competitive, you can have a great rivalry, but we should all love each other and all respect each other and get along.
What was it like, Coach?
There he is. I can see him walking there, with the coffee. There's always something in his hand. Pre-game, even if it's 5 minutes before.
What? You're an offensive guy, and you had touched on it earlier about picking his brain as an offensive coach. As a fellow offensive play caller and play designer, what was it like to kind of match wits with him during a game?
Well, there's no one that has done it, and I've said this. This has nothing to do with today. When everybody's going to say these things. There's no one that has survived change like he did. He's ran his system, different conferences, different levels, for years and years, different players, obviously, and still worked. And everybody said in the coaching world, well, if he gets to the SEC, the defensive coordinators will figure him out. That won't work. He'll have to change. And you just continued to see him do it. And everyone else around coaching, if you look at when they haven't changed on offense, it's caught up with them and they've gotten fired. And for him to continue to do it, I mean, we knew his plays. We would know what they were running. They scored a touchdown and our defensive players were signaling the route at the end of the first half, and it still worked. That's how amazing the timing and coaching of his passing game was.
I remember you telling us that during the production meeting. You would say, guys, it's not a mystery what Mississippi State or Mike Leach is going to run. The beauty of it is, even if you know that, it's tough to stop it.
I mean, there's not a better example of it. Right before the half when they go down and score, our players are looking at each other, signaling the route, the spear route of what it is, and know it's coming, and they still score a touchdown on it. You know, and then we've researched him, and, you know, with coaches that have played, one of our coaches was his quarterback, Seth Daggy, and it's just, he was so amazing at how to teach it and the timing of it. It didn't matter if you knew where it was going.
Lane, finally, I know it's been a tough day for everyone in the coaching fraternity and especially in the state of Mississippi. How would you like to remember Mike Leach?
So funny. You know, just always, there aren't many people that you look forward to seeing every single time, especially on a game day, at conference meetings, you know, having Pac-12 meetings, and just think of somebody that you could go into SEC head coaches meetings where everyone's supposed to not get along and all that. And here's this guy just get along with everybody. Didn't matter where you're from, how long you've coached anything. He was so wonderful to everybody and just a true joy to be around. And maybe I said yesterday to our staff that didn't know him, maybe the smartest person I have ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.